but now we've known each other for a long time, but this is actually one of our first times that we actually worked together, besides from like a couple of classes here and there.
Right.
Before you came in to the coaching program, where were you at in terms of like with your own workouts and your diet and everything else?
I was getting lazy, Jay, and I needed a boost to go on that ski trip that I usually work a lot harder than I was. My frame of mind was not there. I needed to be more days in the gym. Probably drinking a little bit too much. My nutrition was just, unconscious, just didn't really have any means of understanding what I was putting in my system. You pointed out to me that I was basically starving myself, and I couldn't understand why I wasn't losing weight.
Okay.
So I was in a kind of a funk, but I was still working out, and I always use tax season as a time to get myself in shape, because I always believe that, when your stress levels are up and your work demands are at their peaks, there's nothing wrong with being in your best shape. And I wasn't getting there. And when I got your email, or I talked to you, or maybe my son may even sent me the challenge.
Okay.
I said, perfect. I mean, it was a perfect storm. So.
And it's actually funny you mentioned something, because we worked with a bunch of people, tons of people in the accounting field before, and like every other, when I say every other person I've ever talked to always uses tax season as like an excuse of why they can't do it. And like that, you're actually the first person I've ever talked to that said, this is my reason to get in shape, not to not do it. So that's pretty cool. But now, and you've been an athlete most of your life, haven't you?
Well, a variation on a theme there, but yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed competition, and the challenge of hitting a ball in the gap. Or I played lacrosse in high school, scoring the winning goal. Yeah, it's always been something that I have always liked.
All right, good. And that all being said, as much as you've been active your whole life, a lot of the stuff we went over in this program, you said it yourself, a lot of it was a first for you.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you feel, out of all the stuff that we introduced, what do you feel were like the one or two things that really stuck out the most to you?
Well, I guess, when people ask me what the 28-day challenge was, I told them that it was nutrition, it was in the gym for 28 days, it was hydration, and it was discipline and accountability. And I think nutrition. I think you educated me on what I was doing, where I should be, and I was so misguided, and not by anybody else. I just never educated myself on the fact that I was under eating,
Mm-hmm.
and that was pretty enlightening to me. I mean, I eat more now than I've ever eaten in my life. I would go out to dinner with friends and eat maybe 3/4 of the meal. My buddy's looking at my plate, he's looking at his wife's plate, he's picking off a Luann's plate, and now I don't eat I don't eat negatively now. Now I know if I'm full, I can continue eating, because I still don't get near 1,500 calories.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the nutrition was very enlightening to me.
Okay, cool. And it's I've been telling people too, like when I first became a trainer 20 years ago at Bally's, we weren't allowed to talk about nutrition. Like you couldn't even mention it. So, after everything we've done on our side to try to help people out, like adding the nutrition and the accountability aspect really has been the biggest game changer, even for your son. Like, it was just small little tweaks we made that really let his body start responding to anything. So it's great to see that you have gotten, I would say, arguably the same, like percentage wise, the same level of results he's gotten. It's cool to see that both of you guys saw success with the exact same program, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, one last question I want to ask for you is, being that, not too long ago, you were on the other side of the fence where you were brand new, looking at working with us. You weren't too sure. You were thinking about it, but you didn't know. For anybody who's going to be watching this, that's maybe, they're on the fence, they're thinking about working with us in any way, shape, or form. and they just don't know whether they should pull the trigger yet or not. Just from what you've seen in your own experiences, what would you say to somebody who's kind of in that position right now?
Pull the plug. Jay, you were spot on with me. You couldn't have given me any more time. You explained things to me. You made them seem doable. Your encouragement throughout the 28-day challenge. You never stopped. I mean, you were there. We'd have lazy weeks and a lazy day, and then an email would come in. Come on, let's get going. I mean, we only got 23 more days left, or you only have 5 more days left, or 2 more days. And it just, I think you as a professional, you deserve a Grammy, an Emmy, and your knowledge. I mean, your knowledge is obviously you've been doing this for a long time, but I think that your dedication, and I've always said that. I've always even said it to my sons when they were training with you. I said, you don't get any better. And I've seen a bunch of trainers. I've been in the gym for a long time, and some of them pick up their phones. They're talking about politics. They're talking about sports, what the Giants did, and you never weaved away from the topic at hand. So I commend you for that.
Awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate that, man. And knowing that we were able to help just a small percent over the past 30 days. I feel good knowing that we armed you with the knowledge to really have the tools you need to kind of take your fitness and your workouts and nutrition wherever you want going forward. Obviously, I hope we work together again in the future, but at least for right now, it's I know that you're in a good spot and you have the know-how to take yourself wherever you want. So I'm glad we were able to do that for you. So
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, listen, I appreciate you jumping on with us today. The people at home appreciate you jumping on with us too. And like always, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to reach out, man.
I know that. Thanks, Jay.
Alex, have a good one, man. Thanks for jumping on today.
Bye-bye.